Hey Toolerinos, got a yard sale tool haul here. This is actually stuff from several yard sales, just put together for one video. This first item here is a civil defense helmet, just like the one ScoutCrafter showed us recently. This one is in much worse condition. It's very dented and rusty, but it does still have the webbing inside. So it's kind of cool. It does say U.S. government property. OCD, I assume that's Office of Civil Defense. And then there's a maker's mark. I have not been able to figure out what that maker's mark means, or if that would help to date it. I wanted to give a little more detail on this helmet, the civil defense helmet. It happened to be just a couple days after ScoutCrafter showed us one of these that my coworker brought it in, and knowing that I liked old stuff and had this YouTube channel, he asked me if I knew what it was because he didn't know what it was. And I said, yeah, it's a civil defense helmet. It's pretty cool, you know, World War II, Korea War era, and it's pretty neat. And he said that it was either his grandfather's or his father's, and he ended up with it. And he said as long as I wanted to keep it, I could just have it, but that if I ever sold it, he wanted half the money. So I did check eBay just to see what they were worth, and one in this condition really isn't worth much, so I'm just going to keep it and say thanks, Jim. Cool helmet. This next item is just a nice metal box that was 50 cents at a yard sale. I'm sure I can find something good to put in it, but I especially liked it because it's made in Hamilton, Ohio, or it was made in Hamilton, Ohio. And see if the camera can help me identify the lock. Excelsior, Stanford, Connecticut. Yay, the camera worked. Alright, this next item I actually pulled out of a creek. It was upside down in the creek, like this, and I thought it was a tie plate for a railroad track. But when I flipped it over, I see that it's definitely not that, anyway. I'm not sure what it is. I thought maybe it was a motor mount or something, but the more I look at it, I don't think so. I will clean it up and add it into a future video, see if anyone has a better idea of what it might be when it's all cleaned up. But if anyone has any suggestions or ideas about what it is now, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I don't know why I'm attracted to old rusty junk, I just am. Maybe it's just the mystery of it. Alright, actually found this in the same creek where this came from. So here, rummage sale stuff, old light bulbs, good for night lights, sidewalk chalk for the kids, and a garlic press. I haven't had good luck with garlic presses before. I think the one time I tried to use one before I broke it. But as you know, I've got a lot of garlic, so it would be easier to use if I had a good garlic press. Alright, the first item from the box of tools is the bionic wrench. Ow, 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 ow. It's kind of cool. I don't know how practical it is, but it definitely does look like it would work. Seems a bit gimmicky to me, but it is made in USA, and it has a patent number, so I'll show you the patent. Next item is a big old Barkalow wrench made in USA. Barkalow, in case you didn't know, is the same company that made the Barkalounger. It's kind of hard to pick out there, but Barkalow. And next is a one of these kind of stamped ratchets for a hex drive. So it's not marked with anything that I could see. So I don't know if it's an Industro or if it's from the None Better or what, but part of the sale. I found this oil filter wrench, strap wrench. It seems like a real simple kind of model, but well made, older, I could tell. No visible marks that I found on it yet. Maybe when I clean it up I'll find something. This place had a lot of wrenches, and this one piqued my interest because it said made in West Germany, so pretty cool. This one here I picked up simply because I don't think I have one of these yet. It's a Hinsdale. There we go. So short stubby wrench, but pretty cool. And of course I picked up this one because it's Indestro. Always like to find a good Indestro wrench. And there was another short stubby, but this one is a Craftsman. There we go. Definitely an older one. And then here I found a Electrolyte, Defiance, Ohio. So there again, I find an interesting Electrolyte and I add it to my little collection. I got a nice heavy-duty Craftsman tap holder. I don't know if that's going to show up too well there, but it's a nice heavy-duty model for bigger size taps, and that'll come in handy. Found an interesting slip joint. Can you read it there? Indestro Manufacturing. It's kind of a narrow jaw. I can tighten that up. Neat. Found one of these little Craftsman keychain jobbies. Greatest naming tool since 1927. And I found a couple Bonnie wrenches for Resto Rob. Bonnie number 1166. There we go. And here's another one. Double-sided. There we go. Bonnie. Hopefully Resto Rob would like that. And then I found one in the wild. Dun dun! It's perfect handle style. I don't know if it really is. I have to clean it more to see. But the scales look to be in great shape. They're tight. There's no big chips. There's no apparent rot. They're great. So this is going to be a nice, easy fix-up. Even the tip of the screwdriver is in great shape. The back has had a little abuse, but that'll clean up. Even without belt sander, I can clean that up. So, awesome. $2. Basically, these things were all about $2 a piece. So I couldn't complain. But wait, there's more. I forgot a couple items that I also picked up at a yard sale recently. I've got a big sledgehammer head, and it's, you know, the typical end on one side and a very blunt, pointy bit. This is a very big sledgehammer, as you can tell relative to my hand. I'm assuming something like this is for breaking concrete or something. If any of you know otherwise, please let me know in the comments. I don't have one this big or styled like this, so I do intend to clean it up and put a new handle on it. Next item, if you don't know what this is a saw vise for sharpening hand saws. And I have been very close to buying one of these from Colonial Homestead, but just kind of, you know, buying other things that interest me a little bit more when I go there, because, you know, they're not super cheap. And yet I found this one. It came to me at this yard sale. Both of these items were $5, so I could not complain. This is probably from the 50s, I'm guessing, based on its construction and style, and just the fact that there are no maker's marks that I could find on it anywhere. So it's kind of a generic model, but it still operates. The cam action is still there to lock it. The cam, you know, still closes it up. And, you know, it needs cleaned up and lubed, but it's pretty cool. and for $2.50 I could not pass it up. Hey Toolerinos, this is just a little guest antique kind of tool, I guess. I know it's a wagon, it's a kid's wagon, but you could use it like a tool. You could use it to haul things. This is a loaner guest tool, I guess, from my Uncle Charles. The brands are on the wheel. It says Headstrom, and you know, I wasn't sure how old it was. It looks old. I would have thought maybe from the 60s or something. It has seen a little wear and tear. The front axle beam is a bit loose, needs some attention. There's some wear up here where there's a nail. It's wearing on the handle, so maybe I'll do a little work on this to lengthen its lifespan a little bit. I noticed that the wheels will come off. There's just a spring clip, and then the wheels can come off and be lubricated. And then probably the neatest thing is on the bottom, and it gives us the date. Gotta get up under here. To Bill Gates, 945 President Street, Brooklyn, 15 New York. From Daddy, Christmas, 1945. So, how about that? This could have been bought for a child from a returning World War II veteran. You know, home from the war, I better get my boy something. So, young Bill got a really cool wagon, and all these years later it's still rolling, so pretty cool. Pretty neat wagon. We'll get her all fixed up.